Today I'll be walking you through how to use your Finance Leadership Program platform. So if you are a Skills Plus or a Skills Premium student, you will see a screen like this when you first log in. This will instruct you to enroll in a class that is part of your subscription. Now, if you have a Skills Core subscription, meaning you do not have access to the exam review course, you will not see this page. So this is only if you have Skills Plus or Skills Premium. So when you see this screen, you want to click the next button. And what you'll be doing here is enrolling for your case study class if you're in Skills Plus, or your learning class and case study class if you're Skills Premium. Now, your case study class is going to be correlated to the exam window that you are targeting. So when you're ready to schedule that exam, you want to make sure you enroll in the class as well. So you can either enroll in this class at the beginning of your journey, or you can just click the bullet here to enroll in the class. But if you're not yet ready to enroll in a class because you don't know which case study exam you're going to sit for yet, you can click this select class later. So just for this demo, we're going to select the class that's November of 2024, click next, and click confirm. And so that will enroll you in that class. But once you select your classes, you will land on your FLP learning dashboard. So the learning dashboard has a lot of different components to it that are very helpful. So up here near the top of the screen, you'll see the current level that you're at in the program. If you are at the operational, management, or strategic levels, this means that you have yet to pass that case study exam. So even if you complete the learning competencies, you still have to pass the case study exam to go on to the next level. The exception is for the foundational level. There is no case study exam for foundational level. So once you complete the competencies at that level, you'll move on to the next level. Down here, you'll have a bookmark, which is a way to quickly get back into the learning where you last left off. The My Class section here will let you view the next live session for your either learning class or case study class. If you are a premium student, you will have both of these. If you are a plus student, you will only have the case study class. And then for all of our Skills Core students, they don't have this section here. You can also see any new announcements made for your class in this section. On the left side of the screen, you'll see the Messaging Center. So this is where we might send out notifications or important messages for you about the platform or new materials. So keep an eye on that. If there are any new materials, a number will pop up in this little bell icon at the top to let you know there are new messages up there. The progress area shows you how far along the program you are at your current level. We'll talk about skill sets and competencies here shortly, but you can also set weekly goals for yourself using this scroll bar here. And what this does is it gives you a projected completion date. So it really helps you to plan out your journey and plan for your exam date. We have a resource library down here that has a lot of helpful resources outside of the actual FLP learning content. So you can view resource library to view those materials and look at those categories. And then we also have a news feed here from the FM magazine. So that's going to be up-to-date articles on management accounting that you may want to read. So next we are going to take a look at our My Class area. Once you are on your My Class page, you'll see the class that you are currently enrolled in near the top of the screen. If you are a premium student, you both have the option to attend an in-level learning class as well as a case study class. If you're a Skills Plus student, you only have the option for a case study class. If you wanted to toggle between classes, you can click this drop down in the top right corner. Just toggle between your case study class and learning class. If you've attended classes in the past, those may be archived as well to view those materials. You can change your class by clicking this button here. For your live sessions, any past live sessions, you can click the drop-down and click the Zoom live session recording to view the recording of that session if you'd like. There also may be uploads from that session that are attached to it as well. And if you want to view an upcoming live session, you simply need to click the meeting link at the date and time of that session. So you don't need to go ahead and schedule anything for that session. You just need to click meeting link, the date and time of the session to get into that live session. There also is a study plan for both the learning class and case study class. You can click here in the top right corner, and then any announcements attached to that class will be added here. So these may come from Team CGMA or your class tutor. So just be on the lookout for those announcements as well. Now, let's take a look at the competency list on your FLP account. Near the top of the screen, you'll see the tab that says Competencies, and you can click that tab at any point to get to your competency list. You'll see on this page there are 4 tabs for each of the levels on the program. The level with the star next to it is the level you are currently at and will always pop up as your default when you open the competency list. You can access any of the other tabs at any point if you'd like. Each of the larger blocks near the bottom here are called competencies. Competencies are part of 3 pillar areas. The pillar areas in blue are the enterprise pillar. The areas in orange are the performance pillar. The areas in green are going to be your financial pillar. Depending on your level, there's anywhere from 10 to 12 competencies per level. Each of the smaller circles within each of these competencies are called skill sets. They would tell you what you're going to accomplish going through these skill set areas. Within each skill set are a number of topics that you'll complete, which are the individual learning modules. Your goal is to complete each of these skill sets to earn check marks. When you earn check marks for each skill set, it will open a business simulation assignment, which we'll review here in a bit. Now, let's take a look at a topic and how to progress through. When you first open a topic, you will see a learning objective and introduction at the top of the topic, introducing you to that topic and what you'll be covering. As you progress through the learning, you'll be given information mostly in text, but also videos along the way. There are also transcripts of the videos if you want to read those. We'll continue down here and show you a little bit of the learning, where you'll see images and charts and tables. If you click the next button, it'll take you to the next part of that topic. You'll notice at the top here that this purple bar will start to fill up as you get closer to the end of the topic. This is just letting you know how close you are to the end of the topic. Along the way, you'll receive knowledge check questions that help you understand the learning and ask you questions along the way. There's all sorts of different types of knowledge check questions, from multiple choice to select all that apply to drag and drop. You're given feedback at the end of each of these knowledge check questions to let you know how you did on those questions. We're going to continue to progress through here. You'll see another knowledge check question. If you do get these incorrect, you can always retake them until you get the correct answer, but you're also given feedback on the correct answer down here, so it's really not necessary. Just going to progress here till the end of the topic. You can see this purple bar is continuing to fill up as we get through the topic. Typically, at the end of a topic, you'll be given a conclusion that wraps up the topic to tell you what you've covered. When you click the next button, you'll likely be taken to an assessment. These assessments are not meant as learning tools, but more to examine you and make sure you've learned the appropriate content and can get a check mark for that topic. Now, we can't show you what these topic level assessment questions look like to protect the integrity of the question, but I can assure you they're mostly multiple choice, select all that apply, drag and drop, and a few other different question types. A select number of topics within the program offer you the ability to take a pre-assessment to assess out of having to complete that topic. If you're already familiar with that topic's content, you're able to take the pre-assessment once. If you pass the pre-assessment, you do not have to go through that topic and receive credit for completing it. If you fail the pre-assessment, that's okay. You'll just be required to go through the topic and complete the assessment at the end of the topic. Once you've completed all of the assessments and all of the skill sets within a competency, you'll receive check marks for each of the skill sets. What that does is it opens up the business simulation assignment, or BSA, at the bottom of the competency card. You must complete the business simulation assignment to receive the check mark for the competency as shown in the competitive advantage competency. Business simulation assignments give you a simulated workplace environment and uses the skills that you've picked up within that competency to practice what you've learned. There are generally 5 or 6 questions in the BSAs where you'll be given an assignment objective and ask questions along the way. Some of these questions do reference resources in this resource library that you can use to answer the questions. While you do not need to pass these BSAs, you do need to attempt them in order to get credit for completing the competencies. Once you've completed the BSA on each competency, you'll notice that you'll have a check mark for that competency. Once these are complete, you are now eligible to sit for your case study exam. You may schedule your case study exam starting 6 months prior to the exam window, but you must complete the learning and the competency areas at least 2 weeks before the start of the exam window. This is also known as the exam closing date. We do recommend that you complete your learning at least 6 to 8 weeks before the exam window to give you plenty of time to prepare for your case study exam through your exam review course. To view more about how to use your exam review course and my class, please enroll in your case study class and visit the exam review tab.